Falcons safety draft picks Billy Bowman and Xavier Watts are going to be the NFL rookie watch for me today. I want to talk about how they've dynamically put themselves in a position to be fire and ice with the Falcons. Now, when we talk about ice, we're thinking of Xavier Watts. This guy is calm, cool, collected. He fits into the room well, and he does his job. He's somebody that's consistent, makes plays on the football, but does not overextend himself and put himself out of plays. However, sometimes you need a little fire, and that's where Billy Bowman comes in. That's the guy I really want to focus on today. When you look at his Oklahoma tape, this guy, one word to describe him, explosive. Another word, aggressive. When you think about football guys, I think about Billy Bowman. You talk about making plays on the football, interceptions, pass deflections, tackles in the backfield. Billy Bowman Jr. is your guy. I am a full believer that although he was a fourth round pick and probably third on the depth chart right now, you will see him on the field this year for the Falcons. I don't know if it's going to be at the safety position. It might have to be at nickel, but overall, his playmaking ability is going to put him in the contention for being in this starting lineup. Now, looking back at Xavier Watts, he ranks first in career interceptions since 2022 in all of college football with 13. Meanwhile, Bowman has 11, which is third in college football. I think this dynamic duo under head coach Raheem Morris is going to be dynamic, to say the least. It's going to be the future of this Falcons defense. Now, a lot of people think, well, they're third and fourth round picks. Why in the world would they end up being a tandem that ends up starting for the Falcons? I think it's because both of them are high risk, high reward type players. Now, Xavier Watts has more of the consistency behind him, but overall, he is going to be a guy that has to step up and make plays for this Falcons defense. And if he can't, I don't know if he'll be in the starting lineup in a couple of years. Now, meanwhile, Billy Bowman Jr., his aggressiveness is what keeps him on the field. It also is kind of what keeps him off of the field in terms of being in a professional football setting playing on Sundays. If he gets too aggressive and has a bunch of burnt plays, then he is not going to be able to see the field consistently. And I think that's the real criticism of his game. The other critique is obviously his small stature and size. The length question is a big one when you talk about being at the safety position. Not to mention if you want to put him at a nickel per se. I've seen a couple of articles talking about maybe he'll see the field as a nickel. It's hard to be a nickel corner and be as small as he is. I think he's listed as 5'8". He's one of the lightest, shortest wingspan as well. It's not a good combination when you have all those things going against you, and you can kind of see that show up on the tape in the run game. He does not possess the tackling ability that you would want from an aggressive nickelback. When you think of nickels, you don't think of the biggest guys on the field, but you do think of sizable run stoppers. And I would not describe Billy Bowman Jr. as that. I would describe him as a dynamic playmaker in the pass game that reads the quarterback well, jumps routes, deflects balls, gets interceptions. In 2023, he had 6 picks, 3 of them pick sixes. So that's what I think about when I think of Billy Bowman Jr., a football guy in the pass game that can make plays. Meanwhile, Xavier Watts is going to be Mr. Consistency, as I said before. I do think he's going to see the field more often than Bowman just because he has the length, the size, the experience, and he's played high caliber football now for 4 years. That's where I put Xavier Watts as a third-round pick. I think the Falcons have a lot more invested in his future as he's already second on the depth chart, probably going to see some time at the strong safety position. But overall, both of these guys are playmakers to say the least, and a offsetting yin and yang type combo that I think the Falcons will want to use and pursue. So with that being said, those are the 2 rookies to watch out for the Falcons. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time.